Have you ever wondered why some women seem to fall head over heels for guys who treat them terribly, while completely ignoring the nice guys who would do anything for them? The answer isn't what most people think, and understanding this psychological phenomenon could completely change how you view relationships forever. What I'm about to share with you goes against everything society tells us about love and attraction. Most people believe that kindness, compatibility, and shared values are what create lasting romantic connections. But modern psychology reveals something much more complex and frankly uncomfortable about human nature. The truth is that women, just like men, are biologically wired to respond to certain psychological triggers that have nothing to do with logic or what's actually good for them. These triggers developed over thousands of years of human evolution, and they're still operating in our modern world whether we realize it or not. Let me start with the most controversial finding from relationship psychology research. Women often become most attached to men who create what scientists call intermittent reinforcement. This is the same psychological principle that makes gambling so addictive.
Think about a slot machine.
It doesn't pay out every time, but when it does, the reward feels incredible. Your brain gets flooded with dopamine, and you want to keep pulling that lever. Now imagine a relationship where a man is sometimes incredibly charming, attentive, and affectionate, but other times he's distant, unpredictable, or even slightly dismissive. This creates an emotional roller coaster that can be incredibly powerful. When he's giving attention, it feels amazing because it wasn't guaranteed. When he pulls back, it creates anxiety and a desperate desire to win back that good feeling. This isn't conscious manipulation in most cases. Many men naturally display this behavior because they're genuinely busy, have their own emotional ups and downs, or simply aren't as invested in the relationship early on. But the psychological effect is the same regardless of intention. The second major factor is what researchers call the chase dynamic. Humans are naturally programmed to value things more when they have to work for them. This applies to everything from career achievements to material possessions. And yes, it absolutely applies to romantic relationships. When a woman has to invest effort, time, and emotional energy to win over a man, she becomes psychologically invested in the outcome.
Think about your own life for a moment.
What do you value more, something that was handed to you for free, or something you had to save up for and work toward? The answer is obvious. Our brains are wired to assign higher value to things that require investment from us. This is why the advice to play hard to get has persisted across cultures and generations. It's not about being manipulative or dishonest. It's about understanding that attraction often grows through uncertainty and challenge, rather than immediate availability and certainty. But here's where this gets really interesting. The most powerful addiction-like attachments form when these psychological triggers combine with something called trauma bonding. This happens when periods of stress, conflict, or emotional intensity are followed by reconciliation and relief. The contrast between the negative emotions and the positive resolution creates an incredibly strong psychological bond. Women who find themselves repeatedly drawn to unavailable or problematic men are often experiencing this cycle without realizing it. The stress of uncertainty followed by the relief of connection creates a neurochemical cocktail that can feel more intense than stable, predictable love. Now, before anyone gets the wrong idea, I'm not suggesting that healthy relationships should be built on manipulation or creating artificial drama. What I'm explaining is why certain patterns exist and why they can be so powerful. Understanding these mechanisms can actually help people recognize when they're caught in unhealthy cycles and make better choices. The healthiest relationships occur when these natural psychological tendencies are satisfied in positive ways. A man can maintain his own life, interests, and goals without being deliberately distant or hurtful. He can be a challenge to win over because he genuinely has standards and values, not because he's playing games. He can create excitement and unpredictability through genuine spontaneity and passion, not through hot and cold treatment. Women also play a crucial role in this dynamic. Those who develop strong self-worth and independence are less likely to become addicted to validation from any single person. They're able to appreciate the natural ebb and flow of attraction without becoming anxious or desperate when someone isn't constantly available. The most successful long-term relationships I've observed involve two people who genuinely like themselves and their own lives. They come together because they want to, not because they need to fill some emotional void. This creates a foundation where natural attraction and chemistry can flourish without becoming toxic or addictive. So what does this mean for you? If you're a woman watching this, pay attention to your own patterns. Are you most attracted to men who keep you guessing? Do you find yourself losing interest when someone is completely available and predictable? Understanding your own psychology is the first step toward making conscious choices rather than just following unconscious impulses. If you're a man, recognize that being genuinely busy with your own goals and maintaining some mystery isn't about playing games. It's about being authentically attractive by having a life worth wanting to be part of. The key is doing this from a place of genuine self-development, not calculated manipulation. The goal isn't to create addiction or unhealthy attachment. It's to understand how attraction actually works.